Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Mermaid Mystic Substack channel. I've got a video today about the full moon in Aquarius to see what is coming up for the collective, what are the energies and opportunities, and then how you can work with them in your own life. So if you want to create your own sacred space, you can pause the video, light some candles, incense, grab a notebook, whatever you want to do. Otherwise, I'm just diving right into the reading with my sweet baby Astrid. Astrid, say hi. We got cat cuteness to accompany our reading. Okay, so we've got Leo season. Leo is ruled by the sun. So this is how we can shine. We can connect to our authenticity, where we will experience the most creativity, warmth, growth, light, the wakes. So what is awakening within us to shine this full moon? And we get this card Judgment. So I love Judgment. I always teach Judgment. Judgment is no judgment, despite the name of the card. So we don't actually want to be judging when this card shows up. Think about it more as a very loving but objective observation of your life and where you're at. What's really happening here is waking up from any sort of sleepwalking. Anywhere where we've just been operating on autopilot, Judgment is here to be like, no. It is time to operate from your soul, your spirit. Judgment is also a calling. It's the calling of your higher self, the sense of purpose of who you really are and what you're really meant to create and experience and share in this lifetime. So, Aquarius has a lot of like future focused humanitarian energies marching to the beat of your own drum. This is the reminder that we all have different gifts and different stories. Even if you have the same gift as someone else, like let's say you're a really good athlete, your own story and experience with that is going to be different than everyone else's. So this is really honoring your own story, your own gifts, and nurturing them and bringing them forth. One of the things that I think is so cool that I've learned is that we are all born with different gifts. Our job is to discover them, hone them, and then share them. And that's how we actually show our gratitude for them. So it's really beautiful. So the sense I'm getting here is that this full moon is really encouraging you to pull back and see your life from an eagle's eye view and really honor that calling, that sense of purpose, whatever that is for you. And it's probably going to be a little scary because the things that matter most to us usually make us feel a little more vulnerable, but that's where you're going to feel the most fulfillment and truly be the most of service. Right, Astrid? Yes. So I asked, what leaps of faith do we need to take in order to fulfill this calling, to answer this calling? And I ask this because one of the cards that Aquarius is associated with in the major arcana is the Fool. And that is because the Fool is associated with the planet Uranus. And Uranus is the modern planetary ruler of Aquarius. So I was like, hey, leaps of faith. What do we got? Very interesting here. We've got the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a fair bit of conflict. Anytime we get swords, swords are about air, which in the tarot is associated with how we think, our beliefs, our communications, those of others as well, and how we learn. So in the Five of Swords, we're experiencing some kind of mental conflict and anguish. It's usually about being fearful of being attacked. And really, when we're answering the call of our true self, when we're answering the great call of our spirit, we will often, it's not uncommon to get all the fears bubble up of like, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? And in our kind of like modern age of like hall monitors and surveilling each other, just thinking about all the ways that people could potentially criticize your work. There are going to be critics always, my friends. There always have been. There always will be. Do not create for them. Create for your higher self and for the people who are going to love whatever it is you're putting out into the world. If you're doing something interesting, someone's going to have something grumpy to say about it. Join the club. C'est la vie. So in the Five of Swords, we need to sacrifice those fears and we need to take a leap of faith despite of the worries of how someone's going to come at us, how people might judge us, the way our own thoughts might be attacking us. Right? In the Five of Swords, that conflict could be within. And so this could be just imagining all the worst case scenarios. So here it's like, you know what? Someone might not like what you do. You probably will make mistakes because c'est la vie, that's life. But there's so many more rewards on that path. So we got to just take that leap of faith, no matter what anyone's going to think, no matter the fears of judgment or whatever, we got to take that leap of faith. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, if we do this, what great success is available for us? And this is so interesting. So we get this card, the Devil. I'm quite glad this card came up because this is a really good example of how there are no good or bad tarot cards. Every single card has wisdom and medicine available to us. So if you're like, how is the Devil successful? Well, what are the gifts of the Devil? The Devil is a card that shows up when we are facing our shadow work. Okay, so we need to learn what is keeping us chained, what is keeping us stuck, what is holding us back. And usually it's shadows that we don't want to face. That's why there's this black box. This is a box that's like, ugh, I don't want to look there. Now, what's so interesting about shadow work is that we assume in that black box it's just pain or shame, right? And yeah, those can totally be there. But some of the things in the black box are also, coming back to judgment, our gifts, our most tender dreams, our most honest, authentic expressions of who we really are. And that's that fear of judgment in the Five of Swords that might be holding them back. So in the Devil, your great success is that you look in the box. And then through looking in that box and in seeing just the things that, maybe some of the traits that you've developed that don't really represent who you are, you've created them as a form of protection, as a form of being accepted by those who you don't think will accept you for your true self, but you just want to be accepted, right? Aquarius marches to the beat of their own drum. So we've got this Aquarius full moon. You're being called to march the beat of your own drum and to just face the criticism and judgment that may come with that. Because there's also going to be a ton of love and support and connection that comes with it too. So this tells us your great success is that you free yourself from the chains of whatever is in that box that you haven't wanted to look at. This also tells us that you free yourself from any of the numbing techniques that you have been employing, and we all do, right? Like, I'm not being like you, because I don't. We all do. The numbing techniques that we've been using to hide from those blocks. So thinking about anything that we do to overly distract ourselves so that we're never uncomfortable. We really need to face the discomfort. That's where the growth is. That's where so much of the magic is. So this would suggest you become aware of any of those habits. And that could be anything from like overworking to overspending to too much time on social media, even to things like gossip, like spending all of your time blaming other people or criticizing other people because you don't want to look within. Anything like that under this umbrella. That great success is you recognize those unhealthy habits, you forgive yourself for them, you look in the box, and you liberate yourself from what has been keeping you stuck. There's this amazing line in the Bible that says, if you bring forth that which is within you, what is within you will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you will destroy you. And that's totally a part of the Devil. What is within you might need healing, but it also might be love and gifts that need expressing. And so this full moon offers you the opportunity to discover what that is, and then to allow it to save you. Isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, last but not least, what do we have to give up for all of these juicy gifts to come forward? The star. Oh, this is another interesting one where you're going to be like, what? But like, I have to give up like hope and healing and optimism? Nay, of course not. Once again, a fabulous example of no good or bad tarot cards. They all offer guidance. They all have your back. In this case, the star is very dreamy. The star is like, oh, now I'm healed and whole and complete. So the sense I get is that we need to let go of that illusion that there's any point. First off, we need to let go of this idea that there's always something wrong with us. No. Second, that there's some sort of like mystical, magical point in time where you just feel so good and you're absolutely like authentic and healed. And now there's this perfect place where everything's lined up so nicely and now I can go. Basically, this is the reminder the timing is never perfect. So the perfect time is always now. Let's go. I know that that's a blanket statement. Maybe the perfect time isn't now, but this is really encouraging you not to have some sort of like fantasy of this perfect time or this perfect moment or this perfect piece in which you can move forward and everything will be so easy and lovely. They're like, let go of that. I also got a sense here, let go of hoping for something to save you or for outer conditions to be even like people to save you or outer conditions to save you. This is a reminder that you save yourself. And that's always the most powerful form of healing because you don't need a savior, right? Saviors disempower. You just need to remember that like you are the magic. You are the money. You are the honey. It's all within you. You got to look in that box and answer the call. Okay, my friends, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a very magical full moon, wishing you very powerful spells, beautiful readings, and that you answer this beautiful call of your higher self and share your gorgeous story with all of us because we need it. Thank you so much for being here. Happy magic making. Astrid, do you want to say bye? And then say bye. And Astrid says, bye-bye. Have fun. Happy full moon. Okay. Thank you for being here, my friends. Take care.